Now, when most people have to give a speech or presentation, their first mistake is sitting at a laptop and writing it out. That is a step you should never do. And there's a reason for that. Because unless you've worked in television or radio, your style of writing is one that's meant for the eye, not the ear. We tend to write in longer, flowier, prosier, complex sentences with introductory phrases and parenthetical clauses, and that's not exactly how we speak. We also tend to write in a more formal, stilted way. Words that we don't necessarily say across a dinner table to a friend. Now, what I recommend people do if they want to create content is make yourself an outline on a big index card of what it is you want to say, and then take your phone and launch Otter AI or one of these other apps that records you and transcribes what you say. Then get up with your index card and just say it as it would come to you naturally. Don't worry if it's full of starts and stops and stumbles and mistakes. That doesn't really matter. Then take the transcription of what you've said and export that to a Word document or whatever application you're going to wind up doing your writing on, and make that your rough first draft. And what you're going to find is, stylistically, this is a hack. This is a hack to get you to write for the ear instead of the eye without that TV or radio experience. And what you're going to find is it's a much more casual and conversational style of communicating. That's one. There's another big benefit. You will never be at odds with your content because those words reflect how you instinctively want to express yourself. It is not a result of somebody else writing your content for you that you now have to deliver. Or even worse, you've put into ChatGPT, hey, knock me out a speech. I have to give a toast at a wedding. Knock me out a toast that touches on X, Y, and Z. Well, you're going to be at odds with that because you didn't write it. And in fact, you didn't even think of it. So, an LLM thought of it for you. So this is a critical first step in creating authentic content.
Oh, that's so fascinating. I was watching a podcast the other day. I can't remember which it was, but Vanessa Van Edwards was on it, and she's obviously a brilliant communication coach as well. And she talked about this study that maybe her team did on Shark Tank. And I think this note of the casualness is very interesting because she dissected that the people that typically came with a script of statistics when the sharks asked all these questions, they came off as almost less intelligent to the sharks. But the people who obviously had them, they didn't, it's not like they made it up on the spot, had them, but they didn't come with a set script. The casualness of when they thought about the responses to the questions, the actual naturalness that they had, is that even a word? Yeah, the way they naturally responded, that came off as more intelligent because it showed that it was more instinctual rather than scripted.
Nobody wants to have just data points fire hosed at them one after the other. That does sound like a very rote performance.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we talk about in Speak Memorably is the importance of not just providing selective and curated data, but having context behind that data. Just throwing out a number to people doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like I was working with a utility company that's building all these windmill. It's a windmill farm off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. And they were talking about how it's going to generate 100,000 megawatts of power every 6 months or whatever the time frame was. I said, well, listen, unless I'm in the energy industry, I don't really know what that means. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it power my toothbrush for a week or what? And they said, well, it can probably light the city of Boston for a year. I said, okay, now that means something. Like that is the parenthetical explainer you need to have on the tail end of the 100,000 megawatts of power.
Yeah.
Because now the number means something to somebody.
What part of the communication is actually more important? The actual content that we're talking of or how we deliver that content?
Both. They're equal parts. And I have seen people who are very good at the performance element of it, but when the content is poor, it's like an actor in a movie. You probably have favorite actors, and they're given a crummy script to work with. Their performance suffers as a result. And you're thinking, wow, I really like this actor, and I see her in a lot of things. Why does she seem kind of bad in this movie? It's the content. But then I've also seen people with great content not land their big points because they're not using execution strategies that help your most important content stand out more.
Yo, if you like that, then you're gonna like this, the full episode. Come on, you know you want to click it. Come on. All right, well, if you're not gonna click that, you might as well subscribe.